Have you ever been at a festival or just listening with your headphones on and a track comes on that just makes you move? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see how your favorite dance music is really made. I mean, you hear these massive tracks from DJs like Martin Garrix or Marshmello, and you just think, how do they even do that? It sounds so complex. But here's the secret. The basic ideas behind it all might be way simpler than you think. Okay, so first things first. Every artist needs a studio, right? But you don't need some huge expensive room filled with gear. Nope. These days, your entire studio can live right on your computer. It's all thanks to something called a digital audio workstation, or for short, a DAW. Honestly, the best way to think about a DAW is like a level editor in a video game. Seriously, if you've ever built something in Minecraft or Fortnite Creative, you already get the basic idea. But instead of placing blocks or building structures, you're placing sounds. It's this visual space where you drag, drop, and arrange all your musical ideas to build a song from the ground up. And the coolest part? Anyone with a computer can get started.
So, you've got your virtual studio, but what do you put in it? Where do all those crazy bass sounds, soaring leads, and futuristic noises actually come from? Well, for that, we need to talk about the magic of synthesizers. Making a sound from literally nothing is awesome, and it all starts with picking a waveform. Think of this like choosing your character's basic attack in a video game. Is it going to be a smooth, gentle sine wave or a really buzzy, aggressive sawtooth wave? Then you shape that sound with a filter, which is basically like the EQ on your phone's music app. You can make it sound brighter or more muffled, and finally, you use something called an envelope to decide if the sound hits you instantly, like bam, or if it kind of fades in slowly. And these synths come in two main flavors. You've got your hardware synths. Those are the physical machines with all the cool knobs and keys that you can actually touch and play with. They're super fun. But then you have software synths, which are just programs that run inside your DAW. And honestly, they are a total game changer. They're way cheaper, you can have hundreds of them, and they can sound exactly like the real expensive hardware.
All right, we've got some cool synth sounds going. But you can't have a dance track without a beat. The rhythm is the foundation, the heartbeat of the whole song. And for that, we turn to the all-powerful drum machine.
So much of dance music is built on this one simple, super effective pattern called 4 on the floor. You start with the kick drum, that big boom, and you put it on every single beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your pulse. Then you put a clap or a snare on beats 2 and 4. So you get boom, clap, boom, clap. That's the backbeat that makes you nod your head. Throw in some fast hi-hats over the top and boom, you've got the energy that drives the entire track.
But you don't always have to create every single sound from scratch. Sometimes the most interesting sounds are ones that are already out there in the world. And that brings us to the super creative art of sampling.
You know how you might grab a sound from a viral video on TikTok and use it to make your own clip? Well, sampling is the exact same thing, but for music. A producer might take a tiny snippet of an old song, a line from a movie, or even a sound of a bird chirping outside their window, and then they'll twist it, chop it, and flip it into something totally new and unrecognizable.
Okay, so we've got our synths, we've got our drums, and maybe a cool sample. But right now, everything probably sounds a little dry, a little basic. To get that huge professional sound you hear on the radio, producers use special tools called effects.
This is the absolute best way to think about it. Effects are basically Instagram filters, but for sound. You take a plain, raw sound, and with the click of a button, you can completely change its vibe, put it in a different space, and make it sound way more epic. And there are a few go-to effects you hear everywhere. Reverb makes a sound feel like it's in a massive concert hall or a cave. Delay creates those cool repeating echoes. EQ is like a sculptor, carving out little pockets of space so that every instrument can be heard clearly. Compression is a magic tool that makes everything sound loud, punchy, and consistent. And distortion? Well, that's what you use when you want to add some aggressive, gritty energy.
So, we have all of our ingredients. We have the sounds, the beat, the effects. Now it's time to put it all together. Because a great dance track isn't just one 4-bar loop playing over and over. It's a journey, one that's designed to take you on a ride and build up to that one massive moment.
And a lot of them follow this classic formula. You start with a simple intro, so the DJ has something easy to mix. Then comes the build-up, where you start adding more and more layers to build energy and excitement. Then, right when things are getting intense, everything stops for the breakdown. The beat drops out. You get this beautiful atmospheric part. It's all about creating tension, waiting for the drop. That's the moment the beat comes crashing back in and everyone goes wild.
After that, you have an outro that strips things back down so the DJ can mix into the next song.
And what's really wild to think about is that usually it's just one person doing all of this. A producer is like a one-person band. They're the songwriter, the drummer, the keyboard player, the sound engineer, the mixer. They are the architect behind the entire song, from the very first idea to the finished product.
So, after all this talk about software and technology and techniques, here's the most important takeaway. The tools are amazing, for sure. But the single most important tool in music production isn't a piece of software or hardware. It's your imagination.
So now you know the basic secrets. You've seen the building blocks that make up the tracks you love. So the only real question left is, what are you going to create?